Okay, Dr. Mindy here, and I really wanted to do a video on weight loss and fasting. It's the new year. We've been getting a lot of questions about which type of fast is best for weight loss. In my resetter group, we've been doing something that I developed called the Metabolic Reset, where I've taken 7 different fasts and mixed them together, and people are losing weight. People that have been doing keto for a very long time, people that have been fasting for a very long time are finally losing weight, and I couldn't be any more thrilled. So I wanted to bring it to you guys here on YouTube and show you why people are getting really good weight loss results by mixing up their fasts. But again, if you've watched any of my videos, I'm really passionate about teaching you how to do this on your own. I'm such a fan of teaching people how to fish, not just handing you fish. So I use this chart on another one of my videos that a lot of you like, that's all about the timing of fasts. And I want to kind of give it a little more detail. So if you want more information on what we're doing in my resetter group, just put resetters in there and we'll invite you in. And every day I'm teaching my resetter tribe these principles. So know that that's an option for you too if all of this doesn't completely click on this video. But let's do this for a moment. I want to help you understand what happens when you eat food. And then I want to help you understand how many hours you need to fast in order to start to lose weight, in order for your body to really maximize the benefits that fasting can offer for just complete health, but also primarily for weight loss. So let's start with this. When you eat, what I want you to realize is that you will increase insulin when you eat. Now, if you eat a high carbohydrate meal, you're going to increase insulin a lot. This is why the keto diet is people are so crazy about it, is what they're finding is that they're only increasing their insulin a little bit, and so they're losing weight for the first time. So the moment you put something in your mouth, primarily if it's carbohydrates or if it's protein, insulin gets secreted into your bloodstream. And insulin is your fat storage hormone. The more insulin you have, the more fat you're going to store. Bottom line. Carbohydrates are the highest type of food. It'll give you the highest insulin spike. Protein is moderate, will give you a moderate insulin spike, and fat will give you a very low to no insulin spike. But the minute that meal starts and insulin goes up, your body will not burn fat during that time. So it takes about 12 hours for most meals to happen. It takes about 12 hours for that insulin to slowly come down. At that 12-hour mark, now your insulin is down and your body's going into a fasted state. And the longer you stay in this fasted state, the more incredible benefits await you there. This is why intermittent fasting is getting such incredible publicity, because people are realizing, oh my gosh, something as simple as skipping breakfast, something as simple as taking my eating window and compressing it and having these longer periods of fasting is doing so much for me. So know that if you're not going longer than 12 hours without food, you are not allowing insulin to come down low enough in order for your body to have to go and reach for stored sugar, in order for your body to get into autophagy, in order for you to get the miracles of ketones, in order for you to get growth hormone, which burns fat, you're going to have to go longer than 12 hours. You're going to have to start to dip into those fasting periods of 13 hours and greater to get all of this benefit that awaits you over here. So if you go keto and you're not also doing fasting, then your weight loss efforts may be more minimal. So now there's 2 ways. A lot of people that are following me on YouTube are very much into keto. So there's 2 ways to unstick yourself when you've been doing keto for a while, or even if you've been fasting a while. And it's called variation. And basically what you need to do is you need to start varying the time of the fast that you're doing. So if you've been doing keto and you've been doing fasting for 15 hours and you got great results and that's all you did, it's time for you to start to do longer fasts. Or what a lot of my resetters are learning is it's time for you to start to work even more at having a lower insulin meal. And the way you do that is by lowering your protein. So in my resetter group, we're doing 15-day metabolic reset, and people were a week into this reset and people are already dropping up to 11 pounds. The average that I saw in there was anywhere from 2 to 11 pounds in 1 week. But we've been doing a lot of autophagy fasting. We've been doing fast mimicking, which is really lowering the protein down. So to unstick yourself, make sure that you've lowered carbs, that you've lowered protein, so you're really relying on fat, and that you're starting to do longer and longer fasts. So when you go, they say autophagy is like 18, 19 hours is the sweet spot. I do have this incredible chart that one of you guys on YouTube made for me, and I'm so grateful. You made it for me out of one of the videos that I did. If you want a copy of this, just put autophagy fasting in there and we'll send you a link to get this, because it's really a mind-bending experience when you start to see it in a visual context like this. So what you're going to have to do, a lot of you, is you've got to start going longer fasting, like 18 hours. You might even have to do more of a dinner-to-dinner fast. Some of you, if you're really stuck with your weight loss, you're going to need to do 36-hour fasts. The more you go deeper into this fasting, you're keeping insulin down, because when you fast, insulin's not going up, so the fat storage hormone isn't there. You're keeping that insulin down, and so what ends up happening is you force the body to go for that stored fat. But you got to keep with the variation of it. So I'll give you a little bit of a background on what we did in my metabolic reset. We did 3 days of fast mimicking, and a lot of people learned in that experience that fast mimicking is keeping no animal protein, keeping protein down under 20 grams. A lot of people learned, oh my gosh, I'm eating too much protein. I've been keto forever, I'm eating too much protein. Then I went into 2 days of ketobiotic with this group, and ketobiotic to me is keto where you're doing 50 grams net carbs, 50 grams of protein, and you're trying to get your good fat over 60% of your food, and you're eating a lot of fermented food to feed your bacteria. Then we went into 3 days of autophagy fasting, which was, again, bringing that protein down. So we went low protein, a little higher protein, and then low protein. And then we went back into keto. We went a little higher, and now tomorrow we're going to do a 36-hour fast. So that's what I mean by variation. You're going in, you're going out. It's mixing that up that really unsticks yourself. But it's also keeping the insulin low and extending your fasts out. I had a really great discussion with Dr. Fung back in November that was mind-bending for me. I asked him, have you ever seen somebody not lose weight with this principle? And he said, no, if people get stuck, they're just going to have to vary it. So if they eat breakfast, if they skip dinner, they might have to start skipping breakfast. That they have to they have to keep mixing it up. What I think is really a misunderstanding in the keto world, in the fasting world, is that our body is always programmed for homeostasis. So when we first try to do something, we get this immediate positive result. So the first time you go on keto, you feel amazing. You're like, this is incredible. Or the first time you go in intermittent fast, you feel incredible. You see the result quickly. But if you stay with that same thing over and over again, the body is going to start to think that's normal. You're going to get less of a reaction. So you've got to vary it. I did a video last week on YouTube that was the 7 different types of fasting that I recommend for my patients. You can go look back at that video and reference that video, because what I recommend is that you cycle through those 7 different types of fasting And that's what my metabolic reset is it's really giving people the tools to lower protein, then go keto, then lower protein, then go keto, then longer fast, and then we're gonna do some 24-hour fasting, and then we're gonna feast. So I'm a big fan of throwing feast days in there, and I'll do a video on why that works too. So I hope that makes sense. The other thing I want you to realize is after that 12-hour mark, your body is a miracle. It starts to perform at a level that you did not even know was available to you. I promise. And I saw it this morning when I was in my clinic. People are just having these incredible ahas about their relationship to food. I think we often think of we're going to die without food, or the body's not going to do well without food. But actually, it's the opposite. The body does better without food. And what happens down in these hours, like 18, 19, 20 hours of fasting, is you're maximizing autophagy, where the cells are starting to eat themselves and all the toxins that are in there. Your ketones are going up, and the ketones go up into the brain and give you insane mental clarity. They say that you access 20% more of your brain when you're in ketosis. There is no drug on the planet that can even come as close to that. So maximizing your ketones will absolutely help with mental clarity and focus and brain power. I always reference it like the movie Limitless. Have you ever seen the movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper? He takes a little pill and he can all of a sudden learn 8 languages. He can stay up for hours. He becomes this really successful guy. Well, personally, I think that's what ketosis is like. The longer you get in here, the more you access your brain. Your whole world opens up. And that is a gift to the body. It's a bigger gift to the body than eating your favorite food. The minute you eat your favorite food, which is probably not very good, now you're going down to the fat storage. You shut down all those miracles. You're also at these deeper levels getting stem cells that are being secreted, and stem cells heal you. So we use it in my clinic all the time, fasting to heal musculoskeletal problems. And I'm going to start a whole series on this here on YouTube on which fasts work for different conditions, because it's so incredible how our body's designed, but nobody's taught us how to use that intelligence. Nobody's given us the key. And what I love about fasting is that it doesn't take time, it doesn't cost money. There truly is not an excuse to doing it other than fear, not knowing how. And also understanding what the discomfort of fasting is. So I'm trying to educate you guys that here on YouTube. So questions at all that we have?
There were a lot of comments and then people talking back and forth. There were a few things like fermented food, doesn't it contain sugar?
Okay, so the question was fermented food, doesn't it contain sugar? So different fermented foods will have different types of sugar, like kombucha is not going to be really great on a ketobiotic meal, but certain types of sauerkrauts are going to be excellent. They'll fit within. I have people use an app on or majority of my patients and resetters use the Carb Manager app on your phone. And just tally up your macros for the day, and you're looking at 50 net carbs. A net carb is the total carb minus the fiber. So when you're dealing with sauerkraut, you've got a lot of fiber in there. So you'll find that net carb is actually pretty low and will keep you under that 50. So
is long-term keto healthy?
Is long-term keto healthy? We get this question a lot. I don't think any diet long-term is beneficial. I think we are meant to vary it. So the goal is not to be in ketosis forever. The goal is to go in and out. It's what we call metabolically flexible. You should be able to follow a keto diet, click in with really good blood sugar, really good ketones, and then you should be able to go and have a feast day and it pulls you out of ketosis, but then you can go back easily the next day when you go back on keto. So for my patients, I never recommend they stay in keto forever. Now, during this 15-day reset, I'm encouraging people to try to get into ketosis at the whole 15 days. But then we're going to show people how to click out. So metabolically flexible is the key.
Okay. What about where to find how to count the macros? Where's the best place to?
Okay, so the question was, how do you count the macros? Where do you find to count the macros? I use an app called Carb Manager. It's an app on your phone. I find it the easiest. Some people use Chronometer. That's also great. I just don't have a lot of personal experience with it. And I really recommend you just tally up your macros for the day. You'll be shocked. A lot of people in keto are doing too much protein. A lot of people. So.
Okay, and does autophagy start after excretion of toxins?
Does autophagy start after excretion of toxins? So, not really. Autophagy is excretion of toxins. So, autophagy is where when you're in this fasted state, you are telling your body to go find fuel inside the cell. So, when the insulin stays low enough, what ends up happening is it signals, hey, no more insulin's coming. Our body says, okay, well, I gotta have some fuel in here somewhere. So let me go look within the cell and let me go eat the toxins in there and use that to fuel energy. So it's a self-detoxification process, which is amazing, right? So, other questions? Anything else?
There was one asked about, is there one umbrella fast that does it all?
The umbrella fast. Well, I'll tell you what I tell my patients all the time, which is, what are you trying to do? So I think the fast I personally love the best is the 24-hour, or what many of you know as OMAD, 1 meal a day. I think it's the most convenient. Where you're just eating either lunch every day or dinner every day. I think it maximizes your result, but again, I don't think you should do it all the time. I think if you're new to fasting and you're trying to use this, especially as weight loss, you should start with intermittent fasting, and then you can go to the 1 meal a day. But again, I want to encourage you to not get stuck in one style of fast or one style of eating. It's the variation and the in and out of this that really makes a difference. I'll tell you an example. In my resetter group, we have a lot of people that came into the 15-day metabolic reset experience really stuck with their weight loss. And they were stuck because they had been doing keto and fasting in one specific way for years. And they didn't know how to get over that last little piece that unsticks them. So once we varied the fast, boom, the weight came off. So just know, don't get caught in that one path. And it's confusing, but it's also liberating at the same time. So, as always, I hope that helps. If you want the chart, just put autophagy fasting in the comments and we'll send you a link to get the chart here. If you get the chart, I would recommend put it up somewhere to remind yourself when you're in these deeper fasting windows. This is the magic. I should have put magic here because this is where the magic happens. And if you want in the resetter group, just put resetters. We'll invite you in. We're an awesome community in there, just all supporting each other, working these principles. It's a great place to ask questions. We'd love to have you in the group. So, as always, from the bottom of my heart, I hope this helps. And don't give up on yourself, because you were born in a miracle. Your body was designed to heal. Your body was designed to feel incredible. Your body was designed to shed weight. You just need the tools on how to do it. So, as always, have an awesome day.